Yo, what's good everyone? Welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be talking about whether uni is still worth it or not in 2024. Now, this is coming from someone who dropped out at 19 years old, and then a couple months after that, I was able to leave the comfort of my own home, make money online, travel around the world, etc. You know the whole drill. So, I want to talk about some of my thoughts today about uni because I did only go for the first year. I went to uni at University of Portsmouth. Did 1 year, studied marketing there. I'll tell you about my experience, some of the pros, some of the cons, and whether it should be worth it for you, whether you should still go or not. Or, we'll talk about that for this video. Okay, so make sure you like, you comment, you subscribe if you're new to the channel. And especially, this is going to be how to balance it and how it's going to play a part when you're doing appointment setting and high ticket sales, because that's what I teach people with. So, yeah, I think with uni nowadays, people are more starting to wake up and realize that it's getting more futile, or it's getting more redundant, in the sense that people don't need it as much to become successful anymore. I think 5 to 10 years ago, university, even 20 years ago, 30 years ago, uni was it was more mandatory. It was higher education was more important. It's what you needed to succeed to get to the next level, and there really was no other option. But I think now, with the rise of online marketing, online business, all these you could say gurus popping up teaching you how to make money online, and then there are people who are actually going and doing that, proving that it is possible, then it's also proving the fact that you don't need uni as much to succeed. Now, what I think also has changed over the past couple of years is, it's going to go into the other side. It's going to be a balanced argument. Is that I think people are, because before people were shitting on uni like heavily, to the point where there was no upside to it, to the point where there was no advantages to going. There were just all cons. Then you shouldn't go to uni. You should drop out no matter what. And every single person on this earth should drop out. Now, I think what's happened over the past couple of years is people have also started to wake up and realize that there is benefit still to going to uni, and I'll go into that in a minute. But I think a couple things about uni. Here's some of my thoughts. So, as I said, I was going to university. I was trying to run a coaching business. It didn't really work out. Instead of going to my lectures, I did go to my lectures, but I was placing most of my time on things like running my business, trying to get it off the ground. I was learning under a mentor back then to help me grow that. I was also obviously day-to-day responsibilities, cooking, cleaning, studying, all that good stuff, seeing family here and there. So uni was a funny experience because I met some cool people that I still like stay in touch with to this day. And other than that, though, it's pretty degenerate, because I've met some cool people. Along the way, people that have helped me. Back then, I used to struggle with social skills and building a circle. But other than that, I think my experience was pretty degenerate. So there'd be parties all the time. I didn't really like the parties. Because I was pretty introverted. But there was parties going on in our dorm, in the kitchen. People were going out clubbing, etc. It was like the first taste of clubbing, so of course you can bet that people were going every single weekend. And then most of the people that look around, again, not to put them down, but they just didn't have much ambition. They didn't know where they were going. They were just kind of living day to day. And it gets to a point where, guys, like, this is not the environment that's going to help me grow, but I just didn't know what the next steps were. So I knew, though, this was not where I wanted to stay for the rest of my 4 years. That's why I cut it short before I decided to grow up and just completely resent the path that I took in life. So I dropped out after 1 year. I told my parents. They weren't completely opposed to the idea, actually, as I thought they would. Like, I thought they'd force me to stay in uni, but it did come with a strong condition that I did have to find a job, that I had something else to fill the time with and not sit at home all day. Now, I get where they're coming from, and it's actually good that they're like this. But as you guys know, I didn't want to get a job. A lot of you watching don't want to get a typical 9 to 5 job. Don't want to get work. You guys want to make it out here, doing Wi-Fi money, making Wi-Fi money. Want to get into the online space. So there is a degree of you having to stay at home all day or work on your laptop all day, so you can get it off the ground, especially if you're starting from zero. So while I was doing that, they mistaked it as me being lazy and slacking off. and then that caused a lot of arguments, a lot of butting heads. For the next 9 months, when I was back at home, it was not a great experience. It was not great. It was super, it got very toxic. We were getting into arguments a lot. But I think right now, if you're trying to become, for example, a doctor, an engineer, a lawyer, anything like that, then of course it's going to be mandatory to go to uni. Like, you can't really skip that step. But if you want to do what I do, if you want to do what the other people making online are doing, then I don't think university is that important, honestly. I think you're better off well spent at home, grinding, locking in, or doing what you need to do to get your online business off the ground, to get your online money ventures off the ground. I don't think you need uni to help you with that. Especially if you need to go to lectures, your time is being stretched towards lectures, to coursework, etc., to toxic people, to people who you don't need in your life, people who just look forward to the weekend to drink and party and take drugs. I don't think it's worth that. So I think ultimately it just comes down to, what do you want your future life to look like? How do you want it to look like? What do you want a day-to-day to look like? What kind of activities are you doing? What kind of commitments do you have? Do you need a degree to live that kind of life, right? So do you have to see if uni fits into that puzzle or not? And regardless if it's a hard decision or not, you need to look at things objectively and see, okay, does getting a degree, does going to uni for the next 4 years, does it actually play a part in me helping get there? Because if it doesn't, then you need to strongly consider your other option, which is to not go. So I think one thing as well, and one pro of uni, and it's only gonna work if you go to a university that's high class, that's actually prestigious and well represented, is the connections that you make, especially if you're doing a really, really good prestigious course. So if you go to university and it's one of the top universities in your country or your state, and you're taking a good course, so I think that could actually pay dividends. That could be really good because you can build your connections that way. Now, building connections, building your network is a term that's loosely thrown around right now, but I think if you play your cards right, if you do it strategically, if you are actually right now studying in a good university with good people, with a good course, then use that opportunity to build connections, because you never know down the line that these connections will pay you off. You might meet that next millionaire, you might meet that next person, that next business partner. Heck, you might even meet someone who's like part of the government, like a government child. And let's say you befriend them, see what kind of benefits that lead to, all right? So use your connections wisely if you're in a good university. When you're not in a good university, then that really doesn't matter. So that's why I dropped out as well. Like, there was no utility in me staying around these kind of people. I wanted to move my environment. I think a big part as well is environment. So getting in the right rooms, getting in the right environment, that's going to help you be more productive, help you bump into way more like successful people, more likely to do that. Then that's going to help you way more than trying to be stuck all day in your dorm room. So overall, do I think uni is still worth it in 2024? I think it is only worth it if you're not trying to make money online, if you're trying to pursue a traditional career. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you're trying to pursue something like being a doctor, lawyer, etc., and you want to build your connections out, you want to shake hands with some potentially influential people, then you can do that if you're in a good uni. So there are some reasons to stay, but for the most part, I think in 2024, there's way more opportunities online right now compared to university. Especially when you enroll in university, you're getting yourself in thousands of dollars in debt, which you just don't need to do. When you could just, let's say you just follow free content on YouTube and you figure it out, or even you invest in yourself, you're still investing thousands of dollars, but that's going to get you a massive ROI much sooner, because you're following a vehicle, you're following appointment setting, for example, high ticket sales, Amazon FBA, affiliate marketing. You're learning from someone who's already been there, done that. And the only way it's not going to work out is if you don't follow what they do. If it's a good mentor, they can literally just show you the ropes and show you A to B, how to become successful in the business that you're trying to pursue, instead of trying to listen to a business lecturer who's actually never run a business in their life and they're just regurgitating words on a textbook. Okay, so those are my thoughts on uni. I hope that helps. You ultimately have to come to the conclusion as to whether it's right for you or not, because I can't make that decision for you. I just knew for a fact that this was one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. It's freed up a lot of time. It's given me a lot of space to think. It's put pressure on my shoulders to perform and to force me to come up with what to do outside of uni or after uni. And also it's taught me that I don't need to take the traditional path. like I can still succeed and that other people can succeed doing it too. All right. So I hope that helps. It's changed my life. I hope it changes yours too, whether you decide to stay or not. But I hope this video helps. Use it as a guide. And if you have any more questions about uni, ask me in the comments below or ask me in on Instagram or Twitter. Other than that, I hope you like the video. Make sure you like, you comment, you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.